Hello and welcome back to the final round of a Theros Beyond Death traditional draft with me, Jesse Marshall from the Winning Agenda. So, as previously discussed, this is the final round of the draft, win or lose. Let's hope that we win, although this isn't a great start. Six landers are generally not the best. When you have a 5-drop, I guess it's a 5-drop that is pretty decent. It's probably the better end of what 6-landers can look like, but we don't really have many ways to turn lands in play or in our hand into advantage, is the issue that I have here. And 6 is the top of our curve, so if we draw any land, then they're wasted cards. So I'm probably minded to mull that, and the mull turned out well for us, I think. Let's get rid of the second plains here, and then go from there. I think 3-land, 6 card hand with those 3 cards in it is one that I am much more happy with than the previous 6-lander. Let's see. Careless Celebrant is dealt with reasonably well by Incendiary Oracle if they choose to be aggressive with it, assuming that they don't have any tricks here. Incendiary Oracle is also dealt with reasonably well by plenty of green and red spells, as just displayed. Sure, what do we get down here? I think we get down the Rage Hound. The Lyre is an option. Either way, the Lyre is better, because then we can tap that and play the Rage Hound next turn. Yep. Let's go with that. Assuming that doesn't get smashed to smithereens in one way or another. It's quite a creepy looking Lyre, isn't it? It's kind of like playing itself. Okay. So cycling through another card, which means that we can't play the Rage Hound next turn, which does make our curve a tad awkward. But that's okay. So we're going to tap that on our turn, I think, here. Yes, I still think that's the right thing to do. Yep, because otherwise, if we don't, then they may pump its power before the ability resolves, which means that it won't work, which would be an absolute disaster. So hopefully they don't have anyone large for old Horny Hornbeetle to latch onto. Nope, just a buff for itself, which could get out of hand quite quickly if we're not careful. So we'll decline to untap that, I think, despite perhaps tapping down the Hornbeetle being better than having the Celebrant tapped, but it would, pardon me, require us to be fully tapped down basically for another turn, which I'm not super pleased about. Get the Furious Rise out, because I think the sooner we get that happening, the better. Having 2 in hand, not ideal here. In some ways, it would be good to have the Rage Hound out so that we could block the Celebrant. The problem being that if we were to do the 2-turn switcheroo of tapping the Hornbeetle next turn with all our mana and having the Rage Hound out, it would actually have to attack and therefore not be able to block the Celebrant once it untapped, which is all very unfortunate. We do have plenty of removal spells in our deck that deal effectively with the Hornbeetle, but we're now getting dangerously low on life, so this is turning into a bit of a problem scenario with the awkwardness of our hand. Up to 5 mana, but I don't love the Ox here, although perhaps 3 fresh cards and getting the Rage Hand into the bin is actually better than the 3 cards that we have in our hand. Okay, looks like they've got a removal spell. That's unfortunate. Because we do have a little bit of play now, but looks like we're about to get a smash in the face. Pretty comprehensively. Or perhaps not. There appears to be a delay in the good game. What is happening here? Are we final flaring? No, where I Rose's blessinging. Okay, well that's not. I don't know why that took so long, but it is done. The deed is done, and we are dead. That is unfortunate. So I think given that they're going this kind of all-in strategy on the enchantments, we want as many ways as possible to both deal with creatures that are enchanted, but also get things off the board. I think Portent and Betrayal, now that we've already traded in for the Liar, is probably the best place, the best way to do that, and get rid of a Stampede Rider, because it's really not interacting favourably with most of their creatures anyway, I don't think. Now, Revelers, we didn't see any artifacts, I don't think, that game. So unlikely. Thrill, I still don't think we're looking for that. Yeah, I think we can get rid of both the Riders, actually, and just bring in both the Portents. Let's have a think about whether we might be able to aggro our opponent up that way. With potentially a handy switcheroo at a key moment. Not loving that hand. On the play, so we'll mull again. Mull again, mulligan again. Ox a much better one to have in this sort of hand than the previous game. Well, sort of, although we don't have a target for Indomitable Will right now. We'll get rid of the planes and hold the rest. Get that down. Okay. So they've got a reasonably slow hand as well, which is kind of awkward for us, but also good for us, I suppose. Possibly an Omen of the Forge mana up there waiting for us to play something, but we're having the old stand off, which makes our Ox a little more awkward. Alright, finally a target. So we can Dreadful Apathy that, get some use out of our cards. Okay, fair enough. There goes the Mystic Repeal. Getting rid of our Dreadful Apathy. A Flummoxed Cyclops. So I don't think we are actually going to get any use out of this Portent and Betrayal. I think we're going to wait till we have... maybe we just grab it and then bash them. Yeah, let's do that. Because we can just do that this turn. Pardon me. And then we can use Ox of Agonis with Indomitable Will next turn. We'll put that on the bottom so don't discard it, I guess, because next turn we're going to be discarding whatever we draw. So we'll just bash them with this. So this is quite an agonizing Ox game, to be honest. Yeah, I don't love this. Don't love it at all. Oof, okay. More big bodies. Okay, that I am happy to throw in the bin. No! Why didn't it let me do it? This has flash, right? I do not understand. Okay, well, that happened. And now we're losing. Sad times. I'm not really sure why we couldn't cast that in response to the ability triggering, but anyway, I think we were comprehensively out-tempoed in that game. So thank you for watching the entire draft series. If you've made it this far, hope you've enjoyed the draft. I've been Jesse Marshall for the Winning Agenda, and yes, we end the draft with 4 wins and 2 losses as a match record. So it would have been nice to get there for the 5th win, but nonetheless, pretty happy with some sweet prizes. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again with another draft very soon.